Good morning, students. Today our topic is Bohr's theory. So in previously we learned Rutherford theory. This theory based on the classical electromagnetic theory. But this theory is unable to explain the stationary orbits. If an electron is revolving in a circular manner, so in case of hydrogen atom, so automatically it can radiate energy continuously and finally the electron fall into the nucleus. But it is not happening. Why? Because the atom is unstable. That stability of the atom is not explained by Rutherford model. So then the next theory is the Bohr's theory. It is in the year of 1913. Niels Bohr proposed three postulates based on he can apply the basic quantum phenomena to this classical electromagnetic theory. He can propose the three postulates. So first one is related to the stationary orbit. The first postulate is related to the stationary orbits. What is the first postulate? Means here electrons revolve around the positively charged nucleus in circular orbits called stationary orbits. Here the electrons are revolving in stationary orbits. If suppose in that stationary orbit electrons are revolving, at that time that electrons do not radiate energy while revolving in these stationary orbits. So if suppose these electrons are revolving around the nucleus, means at that time the centripetal force is balanced by its electrostatic force of attraction. It is the Bohr's first postulate. So electrons revolve around the positively charged nucleus in circular orbits called stationary orbits. So in circular orbit, these are the stationary orbits. If suppose in that stationary orbits electrons are revolving, electrons do not radiate energy while revolving in these stationary orbits. So for the electron to revolve, at that time centripetal force is balanced by its electrostatic force of attraction. It is the Bohr's first postulate. So at that time, what is the condition? So this theory is applicable for in case only hydrogen atom. It is applicable for only hydrogen atom. So if it is a centrally positive and here the negative electron is revolving, at that time it is revolving in a different orbits are there. So it is revolving in the nth orbit. At that time the radius of the orbit is Rn. So then what is the centripetal force is equal to here mvn square upon Rn is the centripetal force. So here this electron is revolving in nth orbit. At that time the radius of that orbit is equal to Rn. At that time the velocity is equal to here Vn. So mvn square upon Rn is equal to the centripetal force is balanced by its electrostatic force of attraction, that is nothing but here Coulomb's force 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught E square by Rn square. It is the first postulate, first equation. It is related to stationary orbits. So what is the first postulate is related to stationary orbits, and second postulate will be there. This postulate is called as the quantization rule. What is the quantization rule? If suppose this electron is revolving around the nucleus in particular orbits, that orbit is here called as Rn or nth orbit. At that time their angular momentum in circular manner, at that time the angular momentum is nothing but mvn Rn is the orbital angular momentum is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. It is the second postulate. the orbital angular momentum of the revolving electron is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. It is the second postulate. And third postulate, so it is related to the energy. It is related to the energy. If suppose when electron jumps from higher energy stationary orbit to lower orbit, the energy difference will be radiated in the form of light photon. So that is nothing but here E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. So if it is an positive nucleus and here it is the orbit and it is the another orbit, so here this orbit having energy level is E2, here this orbit energy level is E1. When the electron is jumped from this stationary orbit to and lower stationary orbit, that means higher stationary orbit to lower stationary orbit, so at that time it can radiate the energy in the form of photon, so E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. The energy difference between these two is called as here h nu. It is the energy of the photon. So at that time this spectrum is called as the emission spectrum. What is that? Emission spectrum. So if suppose by absorbing of energy, it can by absorbing of energy that can be jumping from lower energy state to higher energy state, this one is called as the absorption spectrum. This spectrum is called as here absorption spectrum. It is the emission spectrum and it is the absorption spectrum. That means if it is the energy levels, so it is the ground state and it is the higher energy state. It is the ground state, it is the higher energy state you have to assumed. So if suppose the electron jumps from higher energy state to lower energy state, at that time it can emit the energy. So the energy is in the form of photon, that is equal to h nu. At that time this spectrum is called as the emission spectrum. This spectrum is called as here emission spectrum. So if suppose the electron jumps from ground state to excited state, so the ground state lonchi excited state loki velante you have to supply the energy. You have to supply. If suppose this is the electron, you have to give the energy, then it will absorb the energy of h nu. Then it can jumps from ground state to excited state. At that time the spectrum is called as the absorption spectrum. Okay, these are the Bohr's three postulates. So based on these three, you have to calculate the radius of the orbit of hydrogen, and only it is applicable for hydrogen atom. So by using these postulates, we can calculate the radius of the orbit, radius of the nth orbit, and velocity of the nth orbit, and the total energy, potential energy, kinetic energy, and time period, and what is the frequency. All these are very easy to calculate by using these three postulates. So but this theory is applicable for only hydrogen atom or hydrogen like atoms. Okay, so first we will calculate the velocity. First I will calculate the velocity. So what is the first Bohr postulates? It is related to stationary orbits. In that stationary orbit, the electrons do not radiate energy. So at that time the centripetal force is mvn square upon rn is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught E square upon Rn square. So here the mod will be that, that's why I will take it the completely positive. It is the equation 1. And what is the second equation? Second, it is related to quantization rule. The orbital angular momentum mvn rn is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. It is the second rule. And third rule is the E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. It is the third rule. These are the three postulates. So first I am calculating the velocity of the nth orbit. So I am doing 1 divided by 2. What I am doing? 1 divided by 2. What is the first equation? mvn square upon rn. Again by divided by, it is a mvn rn means again divided by, it will become as a 1 by mvn rn. And next 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught e square by rn square. And the second term will, it is reciprocal, mvn rn becomes 1 by mvn rn, and it will become as a 2 pi by nh. Here both sides rn term will be there, rn square, rn get cancelled, and here m get cancelled, and vn. So simply what is the vn expression? So here 2 pi 2 times, pi get cancelled, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So e square by 2 epsilon naught, e square by 2 epsilon naught h, e square by 2 epsilon naught h, and again 1 by n. So you have to remember this formula. It is the velocity of the nth orbit. So by substituting the values of the e, epsilon naught, h, all these values you have to substitute it, then what is the expression of velocity we are getting? That expression is equal to here 2.2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 upon n meter per second. You have to substitute the charge of the electron, and next epsilon naught value, Planck's constant. So then this complete total constant value is 2.2 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So here Vn is inversely proportional to 1 by n. 1 by n. So it is the expression for Vn up to Vn. And next, what is the next one is here? You have to calculate the Rn. You have to calculate the expression for Rn. What is the expression for Rn is equal to? So what is the value of Vn you are getting? That's value you have to substitute in second postulate. So what is the second postulate? mvn Rn is equal to nh by 2 pi. So then mvn is equal to here e square upon 2 epsilon naught h into n into again Rn is equal to nh by 2 pi. nh by 2 pi. So then what is the expression for Rn? What is the expression for Rn? So 2 get cancelled both sides, and then what is the expression for here? Epsilon naught, take that side, epsilon naught, and again n into n, n square, h into h, h square, epsilon naught n square h square upon m e square m e square, again which will be there only pi. Okay, n into n square h square epsilon naught upon m e square pi. It is the expression for radius. So this can be written as epsilon naught constant, h square also Planck's constant, and again m mass of the electron and charge of the electron, pi totally constant, and it is proportional to n square. That means this total constant value or n is equal to here 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 10 into n square meter. Here n is the orbit, it is nth orbit. That means here you have to write n square. It's not a unit, here it is the n is the number. So it is the Rn, radius of the orbit. If suppose first orbit means first orbit radius of the hydrogen atom, first orbit radius is equal to R1 is equal to 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. N is equal to 1. Here n is equal to 1. And what is the second orbit? R2 is equal to 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 9 into 4 meter. Minus 10 it is. So then what is the ratios of R1 is to R2 is to R3 is equal to here 1 is to 4 is to 9. Okay, it is the radius of the orbit. You have to remember these formulas. First you remember the three postulates. By using those postulates we can calculate the Vn and Rn. So first equation 1 divided by 2 we are getting the expression for Vn, and this Vn you have to substitute in the second postulate, we are getting the expression for the Rn. So these are the expressions we are getting up to now, Vn and Rn. So then what is the kinetic energy? Expression for kinetic energy of mVn square. Half mVn means here E square upon 2 epsilon naught Hn whole square. Then kinetic energy is equal to m e power 4 and 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8 epsilon naught square h square n square. It is the expression for the kinetic energy. And what is the potential energy? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus E square by Rn. K Q1 Q2 by R is the expression for potential energy. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus E square 1 by Rn, it is the Rn. 1 by Rn means you have to reciprocal that pi m E square upon epsilon naught n square h square. So what is the expression we are getting? So pi get cancelled. M minus m e power 4 minus m e power 4 4 epsilon into epsilon, epsilon naught square, 4 epsilon naught square n square h square. So it is a potential energy. Then what is the total energy? Kinetic energy plus potential energy. If suppose this equation is multiplied and divided by 2, so denominators will be same. It is 8 epsilon naught h square n square. So then what is the expression we are getting? Minus 2 m e power 4. That means m e power 4 upon 8 epsilon naught h square n square. If it is multiplied and divided by 2, so then 2 m e power 4 upon 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So then what is the expression we are getting? So minus m e power 4 by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So kinetic energy, it is the total energy and it is the kinetic energy. So you have to observe total energy is multiplied by total energy is multiplied by minus, we are getting the kinetic energy. Then what is the relation between total energy is equal to this total energy have to multiplied or multiply of kinetic energy minus of kinetic energy, we are getting the total energy. And next, if it is here, it is the potential energy. It is the potential energy. So potential energy will become half, then we are getting the total energy. So it is the relation you have to remember. Okay, and this expression is very, very important. By using this expression, we can next we can go for the spectrum of the hydrogen atom in that atomic spectrum of Lyman series, Bauman series, Paschen, Brackett, Pfund. So how they will be. So this equation you have to apply in a third postulate. We can go for the next topic. That is you have to helpful. So you have to remember this formula: minus me power 4 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So here m e power 4 epsilon naught h square, all these are constant except this n value. So the total energy is inversely proportional to the square of the nth orbit. Inversely proportional to the square of the nth orbit. And next some problems we can solve just. So for first problem, the radius of the first electron orbit of a hydrogen atom. The radius of the first electron orbit of hydrogen atom is 5.3 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meters. What is the radius of the second orbit? What is the radius of the second orbit? So already you know the expression for the radius of the orbit. Rn is equal to epsilon naught n square h square me square upon pi. So epsilon naught h square me square pi. This total value is equal to 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 10. If suppose you have to write this expression, 5.3 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meters into n square. Here n is the number, so it is Rn. So first orbit means n is equal to 1, and the second orbit means you have to multiply it by 4. So what is the expression you have to given here? So R1 is given, radius of the first orbit is given. So R1 is equal to 5.3 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meters. So then what is the radius of the second orbit? It is the first orbit. And what is the condition? Already you know Rn is equal to 5.3 into 10 to the power of minus 11 upon, it is minus 11 upon n square. Sorry, into n square. Then for second orbit means you have to simply multiply it with 2, and that means 2 square, that is nothing but 4. So 5.3 into 4. 5.3 into 4. 4 3s are 12. 5 4s are 20, 21. That means 21.2 into 10 to the power of minus 11. 21.2 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meters. It is the R2. 21.2, but some mistake is given here. 2 point, here the point you have to move forward. 21.2. And next, determine the radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom. Already we are completed that work. What would be the velocity and the frequency of the electron in the first orbit? You have to calculate the frequency of the first orbit. So what is the frequency formula? So what is the time period formula? First you calculate the time period. Time period T is equal to, what is the time period T is equal to? T is equal to distance by velocity. So So then what is the distance of a circular orbit here? 2 pi rn upon Vn. It is the Tn. So it is the period of revolution of the orbit. It is the, if suppose you have to substitute 1 means it is the first period of revolution time period, and if suppose the reciprocal of this, we are getting the frequency. So frequency means you also substitute the Vn upon 2 pi Rn. So already you know the expression for Vn and Rn value. Then what is the value of frequency we are getting? That frequency is equal to 6.6 into 10 to the power of 15 Hz. Already we are calculated the radius and velocity. Okay, all these values you have to substitute in the Vn and Rn place. Then we are getting the expression for the frequency. And next, third problem. The total energy of an electron in the first excited state of hydrogen atom is equal to minus 3.4 electrovolts. What is the potential energy of the electron in this state? Total energy of the electron in the first excited state. Already you know the condition, total energy is equal to minus of kinetic energy, and that is equal to potential energy by 2. It is the condition. So here the total energy of the electron first excited state of the hydrogen atom is given, that is a minus 3.4. So what is the relation between total energy and potential? Minus 3.4 is equal to potential energy upon 2. So then potential energy is equal to minus 3.4 into 2, that is equal to 6.8. This is the expression 6.8 electrovolts. 6.8 electrovolts. And next one is the total energy of the electron the first excited state of hydrogen atom is minus 3.4 electrovolts. It is a total energy. And what is the kinetic energy of the electron in the state? So what is the relation between total energy and kinetic energy is equal to? So kinetic energy is equal to minus of total energy. So minus into minus, again it is plus. And next, fifth problem. And fifth problem, second problem, both are same. That will be given 2 times. Okay, so these are the exercise problems 1 to 5. Okay, bye students.